A dangerous Ebola outbreak is spreading across the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Uganda, prompting the World Health Organization to declare a public health emergency. Health officials warn the virus could persist for months, marking the most severe flare-up in a decade. The crisis has reached a global scale after an American traveler tested positive for the virus, raising alarms about potential international transmission. Russian President Vladimir Putin has arrived in Beijing, accompanied by a high-level delegation of government ministers and corporate CEOs. The visit follows recent diplomatic activity by U.S. officials, highlighting a deepening strategic alliance between Russia and China. This summit underscores a growing geopolitical divide as both nations seek to challenge Western influence amid ongoing global conflicts. Advocacy groups are accusing the Israeli government of attempting to forcibly expel an entire Palestinian district located in East Jerusalem. The move would displace hundreds of residents and significantly alter the demographic makeup of the area. Critics argue this action threatens long-term peace prospects and violates international norms regarding the treatment of civilian populations in occupied territories. The son of the founder of the Mango fashion empire has been arrested as a suspect in his father's fatal cliffside fall earlier this year. Authorities launched a homicide investigation into the 2024 death, which initially appeared to be a tragic hiking accident. The arrest marks a stunning turn for the billionaire family, casting a shadow over the leadership of the multi-billion-dollar clothing brand. The United Arab Emirates reports that a drone strike targeted the Barakah nuclear power plant, with intelligence tracing the launch site to Iraqi territory. This marks the first direct attack on an Arab nuclear facility, raising urgent security concerns about the vulnerability of critical infrastructure in the region. The incident signals a dangerous escalation as tensions between Gulf states and regional adversaries reach a breaking point. Pentagon officials have sparked backlash by canceling a planned rotation of a U.S. armored brigade in Poland. The decision has left military leaders and European allies scrambling for answers regarding the shift in defense strategy. Critics warn the move weakens NATO's eastern flank and forces European nations to shoulder a greater share of their own defense costs. Far-right Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich claims that the International Criminal Court is actively seeking a warrant for his arrest. The potential legal action stems from his controversial policies and public statements regarding the West Bank. If a warrant is issued, it would represent a significant escalation in international legal efforts to hold Israeli officials accountable for their actions in Palestinian territories. In a scientific first, researchers have successfully hatched live chicks using 3D-printed artificial eggshells. This breakthrough offers a potential pathway for reviving extinct species by providing a synthetic environment for embryonic development. Biotech firms believe this technology could fundamentally change conservation efforts and the future of de-extinction science. A NATO fighter jet intercepted and destroyed a Ukrainian drone that strayed into Estonian airspace. Kyiv officials claim the drone was pushed off course by Russian electronic jamming tactics intended to disrupt regional security. The incident highlights the growing risk of unintended escalation as the war in Ukraine impacts the safety of neighboring NATO member countries. The British government is pressuring major supermarket chains to implement voluntary price caps on essential food items. Officials aim to curb persistent inflation that continues to strain household budgets across the country. While the proposal seeks to provide immediate financial relief, retailers are weighing the economic impact of limiting prices on their supply chain operations. Ukrainian military drones are successfully targeting Russian positions from 60 miles away, causing significant damage to key infrastructure. These long-range strikes have killed multiple people and brought the reality of the war closer to the Russian interior. The campaign marks a tactical shift in Ukraine's defensive strategy, forcing Moscow to confront the growing reach of its neighbors' strike capabilities. Rescue teams have successfully recovered the bodies of 2 Italian divers from an underwater cave system in the Maldives. 2 additional divers remain trapped deep within the treacherous submerged caverns. Authorities are now investigating the circumstances of the excursion to determine if the group exceeded safe diving depths and protocols. 2 American tourists have been arrested in Japan after allegedly breaking into the exhibit of a viral monkey named Punch. The unauthorized entry at the zoo caused significant alarm for the safety of the animal and the visitors involved. Both individuals are now in police custody as local authorities review security footage to determine the motive behind the breach. Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham is pushing to transform his Manchesterism policy framework into a formal, practical proposal for the national government. He argues that his regional model for public services and economic growth should be adopted on a broader scale. The initiative aims to shift power away from central government and provide local leaders more autonomy over essential regional infrastructure. A journalist who witnessed the January 6th Capitol attack is speaking out about the Justice Department's new $1.8 billion fund. The program is designed to provide financial support and compensation to those impacted by the events of that day. Critics and supporters alike are debating the scope of the fund and its role in addressing the historical and personal fallout of the riot. The U.S. government has agreed to drop outstanding tax claims against Donald Trump as part of an expanded settlement in a long-running IRS lawsuit. The deal effectively ends years of legal disputes over the former president's tax audits and financial filings. This resolution marks a significant conclusion to a high-profile case that has navigated the federal court system for several years. Federal authorities have finalized a settlement with Donald Trump that officially terminates ongoing tax audits. The agreement broadens the scope of previous negotiations to resolve all remaining tax-related claims. This decision effectively closes a major chapter of legal litigation between the former president and the Internal Revenue Service. Former Washington Governor Christine Gregoire is publicly criticizing the rapid expansion of the state's current budget. She argues that the fiscal trajectory is unsustainable and requires immediate intervention from lawmakers to ensure long-term stability. The critique highlights growing concerns among state leaders regarding government spending priorities and the management of public funds. The federal government has reached a comprehensive settlement with Donald Trump, resulting in the withdrawal of all tax claims against him. The agreement stems from a broadening of an existing IRS lawsuit, effectively ending the audits that have been under contention. This legal resolution removes a significant financial hurdle for the former president as he navigates ongoing public and private matters. Management at the Rodeo Convention Center has formally invited city council members to tour the facility. The invitation is intended to showcase the center's current operations and discuss future development needs. Organizers hope the visit will help officials better understand the venue's role in the local economy before upcoming budget and zoning decisions.